impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. It's 27 minutes until 8 o'clock. We're off to a teeny bit of a late start, but that's fine. Better late than never. I want to say good morning to all our listeners, all our viewers. Good morning to Miss Susan. Susan is the producer of the Business Buzz, and she's holding it down this morning as usual. Good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning to our guests in the studio. 2 segments on the bus today. First, we will delve into understanding menopause and its impact on women. We will hear from our in-studio guest, Dr. Pooja. Dr. Pooja she's a consultant obstetrics and gynecology at Total Health. Come 8 o'clock, we will take a break for the news, weather and traffic reports. Then we'll return to the second segment to take a look at the Proud of Them program. But first, let's talk to Dr. Pooja. Dr. Pooja, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Anita. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. How are you?
I am good. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Getting used to being an early riser. No, Dr. Pooja, this is the first time in the studio.
Yes, here.
So we're gonna tax you to the max. No, I'm just kidding. Can you just share with us your professional journey?
Right. So I have been on this island for the last 5 years, but I've joined Total Health very, very recently. It is my first month here, but I'm loving every single day. It's nicer to be on this part of the island and closer to most of my patients where, it's easier to access and stuff. And what can I say? 5 years have gone by like a whiz, and now I call Cayman home.
Okay. So are you a beach person? Are you on
Absolutely.
the beach?
I'm a complete beach bum. You'll find me at the beach every weekend.
Okay. Well, I can't swim, so I stay in the corner. No, Dr. Pooja, tell us about the quality of service that is available at Total Health.
So Total Health...
You've been there for about a month.
Yes. So we're mainly focusing on preventive medicine, preventive care. Where I come into the play is I offer a whole range of women's healthcare related services. So which means when you come in for your screenings, like your pap smears, your breast exams, and of course, we don't have a mammogram machine yet, but then referrals for a mammogram and women with their multitude of problems. It's everything ranging from period issues, menopause issues that we're going to talk about today, everything in between, pregnancy-related issues. So I do see pregnant women as well. And sex that not too many people talk about. So these are some of the issues that I see women with. So basically, if there's anything that a woman is dealing with which is related to her being a woman. So I would not deal with blood pressure and diabetes in women, if you get that sort of thing. But if something to do with your hormones, or you think it has something to do with your hormones, I'm your man, or should I say I'm your woman?
You're the woman. You're the woman, Dr. Pooja. Now, let's look at menopause. What exactly is menopause?
So menopause...
Is this where we take a pause from men? No, I'm just kidding. Just some early morning.
That should have happened earlier in life.
Susan hit her face.
So menopause is actually that time of life in a woman's life where her reproductive career is sort of ending. So it's basically her hormones are kind of dying out, for the lack of better words. When a woman completely stops seeing her periods for a whole calendar year, so which means 12 months, that's when we would say that she is in menopause. But menopause per se is not the problem. It is the area known as perimenopause, or the time period of perimenopause, which starts around 2 to 5 years prior to menopause and goes through 5 to 10 years after menopause. So it's that whole time frame and time period that women have to deal with different symptoms. Now, it's not as easy as saying, oh, my periods have stopped. Yay, everything is good. There are a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs, that women go through during this phase. You have multiple symptoms of menopause, the most common ones being hot flashes, mood swings, waking up in the night sweating, not being able to sleep, just being irritable, grumpy, depressed, putting on weight, losing hair, your skin losing its luster, you not feeling like you want to have sex. So that's loss of libido, or it's too dry down there when you try to have sex. And just in general feeling I'm tired, fatigued, I can't remember things, brain fog. All of these are like very, very common symptoms of menopause, which most women will attribute to just regular good old aging, which is not true.
So we do have different stages of menopause. Now, what is the average age for menopause, Dr. Pooja?
So the average age range is between 48 and 51. But on this island, I have seen women continue seeing their periods up until 58, 59, healthy, without any problems, regular periods. As for my textbook, any period after 54 is considered abnormal, but the women in Cayman have proved me wrong. So most of them will have like a good, proper, healthy period till up until the oldest patient I have seen here with regular periods, she's 59 and running. So she hasn't stopped yet. But 48 to 51 is when I would generally put that ballpark figure down on. So either end of the spectrum is possible. Women after the age of 40 going into menopause, even though considered early, will still be considered, okay, they're menopausal. They will need hormone replacement therapy, which we'll talk about a little bit. But any woman who goes through menopause prior to the age of 40 is considered to be early menopause or premature ovarian failure, as we call it, and she would definitely qualify and should be offered hormone replacement therapy.
Okay. Now, to have a period at that late stage in your life, you'd be like, is this gonna end?
Oh, trust me. That's exactly what they say. Can you make it stop already?
It's gonna end, yeah. Now, are there instances where menopause can start really early?
Menopause can start really early.
In your career, have you seen?
Yes,
how
plenty.
Early have you seen?
So the earliest I have seen is the age of 25.
25.
But that's abnormal. That's not normal menopause. Like I said, anything less than the age of 40 would be considered abnormal. And there are a variety of reasons for it. It could be a problem at the level of the ovaries, or it could be a problem at the level of the pituitary gland, which is it's a small little gland situated in your brain, which secretes the hormones, which then go on to release the main hormones all over in our system. Now, depending on what kind of tumor that you have in that gland, when I say tumor, it's not cancer, it's a benign tumor, but it's a hormone secreting tumor. So based on what hormone that tumor is secreting, it depends on which system would be affected, whether it's your thyroid, whether it's your milk glands, that's the prolactin hormone, whether it's your sex hormones, which cause premature ovarian failure, so on and so forth.
Okay. Wow. That's going to have me thinking all day. Thanks to our sponsors this morning. This is the Business Buzz. Our first segment, we have Dr. Pooja in the studio. Dr. Pooja is the consultant obstetrics and gynecology at Total Health. And we want to thank our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Box Cayman. Now, Dr. Pooja, you did allude to some of the symptoms of menopause.
Yep.
What haven't you mentioned so far?
So I think we covered most bases. It's a broad spectrum of symptoms. Most of these symptoms are, like I mentioned, the typical ones are the hot flashes, the mood swings, the night sweats, the insomnia, the dryness during sex, or the loss of libido or the loss of sexual appetite, as you would call it, irritability, fatigue, joint pain, weight gain, dry, wrinkly skin, hair loss, and what else? I missed something. Did I say weight gain?
Yes.
We can say that again.
Weight gain and weight loss, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, how long will this last for?
So these symptoms, to know how long these last for, you need to know why these happen. So when we're seeing our periods normally, so let's go back, rewind to the time that you first started seeing your periods. So that would be puberty or menarche, as we call it. That's when the hormones are just about setting into your system. That's when you again have all of these problems. So, periods are coming in too early, too late, too heavy, too light, all of these, till they kind of settle into your system 1 to 2 years down the line. And then most women will see regular periods. So they'll come almost every month up until the time of menopause. So now when it comes every month, you have a nice smooth up and down for your hormones. When we reach the time of menopause, when the hormones start to decline, that up and down is not smooth anymore. It's like one crash that happens. So imagine you're standing at the top of a steep hill and you come rolling down. So that's what menopause puts your body through. It's like a shock that you're sent through. And this is how the body kind of copes with it, with all of these symptoms. So not everyone goes through menopause like this. There are lucky few women, like I was telling you, who's just smooth sailing through menopause, where they don't have any symptoms, or they'll probably just get a hot flash here and there, but nothing to talk about. And then you have the other subset of women at the other extreme, where they cannot manage. Their partners will come. Most often, these radio shows, how they help is the men will bring in their wives and say, Doc, she has all of the symptoms that you said, but it's just that I can't talk to her because it's going to be a problem for our marriage. And that's why we've decided to come in. And the woman's like, okay, I didn't even know this is what was happening. And the men's like, they've made notes. So she does this and she does this. And then the woman is like, okay, you're going to get the couch tonight. But jokes apart, it's the other people who live with you and around you who notice these symptoms more than you sometimes, especially the mood-related issues.
Now, hot flashes, we always hear about hot flashes. What exactly a hot flash is, Dr. Pooja?
So a hot flash is a very subjective symptom. What I may describe as a hot flash may not be the same. So, but generally speaking, it would be a sense of heat emanating from within you. So, everything is fine, but suddenly you'll feel like this surge of heat that comes from within you, and you feel like your body is on fire. It lasts for around 30 to 45 seconds. It definitely feels like it lasts for 10 minutes, but that's generally the time frame. And then it goes away, and it can come back as early as like 10 minutes, 15 minutes down the line. So there are women who go through probably 20, 30 odd hot flashes a day versus someone who'll have like one every week or so. So there's a big difference. There's some women who would say, oh yeah, I just feel a little hot all the time and flushed, but I'm not bothered by it. But then there are women who feel like their body is literally on fire. And this tends to get exaggerated if you have like a glass of wine and stuff. So that hot flash tends to get even more exaggerated. So typically women will say that, I am hot through the day, but if I decide to have like a glass of wine in the evening, that's when it really comes on.
I guess it adds that heat to your body.
Yes, it does.
I would never think about that. Now, what hormonal changes happen during menopause?
So it's plain and simple. All of us women have two main hormones, the female hormones called estrogen and progesterone. Now, estrogen is the main showrunner, controlling everything from head to toe. Progesterone basically is, a supporting actor, basically trying to keep estrogen a little grounded, because estrogen is because estrogen is like, imagine a hose pipe with the water turned on. It can just run wild. Progesterone is the hand that's actually holding it and saying, okay, we need to focus here, and then we stop and then we go there. So these are the two main hormones that carry out our day-to-day functioning and make us the women that we are. In menopause, typically what happens is these hormones come down to like an almost zero level. That's when it causes problems. That's when you tend to have symptoms of menopause. Now, don't get me wrong. Every single woman going through menopause will have the same thing happening with them, where their hormones come down to zero. Not everyone has the symptoms, like I said. But if we were to do a hormone test for like 10 women in the room, 5 who had symptoms, 5 who didn't, most of them would almost be at the same level of negligible hormones. So that's what happens typically, is these two hormones along with testosterone. Testosterone is the male sex hormone, but women have some amount of testosterone. We need the testosterone because that's what controls our hair, our skin, and our sexual appetite.
It gives my beard too.
Yes, that too. So that's what. So the testosterone levels dip down as well. So these are the three hormones that mainly come down when we speak about menopause and related hormones.
So how do you diagnose menopause, if that's such a thing?
Yes. So we diagnose the symptoms. So you would come in telling me, Doc, this is what is happening. Or your partner would come in and say, Doc, I'm ready to tear out my hair and, marriage is not working out and stuff. That's how we would diagnose. The numbers of the hormones do not help me say that, oh, yes, you're in menopause and now you need treatment. That's not how it works, fortunately. We treat the symptoms. We don't treat the numbers. Because like I said, every woman will have that kind of a number profile or a hormone profile at that age range when she's perimenopausal. But just because we see the low numbers, it doesn't mean that we're trying to fix the numbers. We're trying to fix the symptoms. So remember that steep slope that I was saying. What we're trying to do is, instead of making you just fall down to the bottom, we're going to make it like a smooth little curve. So from Mount Everest, we're going to try and make it like Mount Thrashmore. So it's like easy for you to just roll down the mountain.
Okay. Dr. Pooja, your analogy is killing me this morning. If you're just joining us, good morning. We're talking to Dr. Pooja of Total Health. Thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Box Cayman. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue looking at menopause and its impact on women.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Dalkeith Ruel Bodden, 1918 to 2001.
Dalkeith Ruel Bodden, like many Caymanian men of his generation, spent much of his early adulthood overseas, having worked for his family cattle business in Georgetown since the age of 10, and at 19 he went to Aruba to work for an oil company. When World War II was declared in 1939, he went to England and enlisted in the Royal Air Force. He served with the RAF for 6 years, including tours in East Africa and Egypt. En route home in 1946, Dal talked with King Parker in Jamaica about the possibility of seaplanes landing in the North Sound. This vision later became a reality. Dalkeith married the former Vita Marin in 1947, and the couple had one daughter. In 1957, he opened Crew Road Gas and Service Station. Later, he and Vita built the Bodmer Building in Georgetown. Dal was a founder of the Rotary Club and the Veterans Association. He donated property to the Cayman Islands government to enable a road to be built into the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
This holiday season, enjoy a hassle-free feast with your whole family with a holiday in a box. A complete holiday dinner that easily serves 8 to 10 people. Prepared by executive chefs, canapes, carved turkey and ham, sides and 2 desserts. No shopping, no food prep, and no kitchen cleanup. Simply pop the dishes in the oven, and within 60 minutes, your holiday feast is ready to be savored. Pre-orders are now open. Only $175, serving 8 to 10 people. Placing your holiday in a box order is easy. Simply visit boxed.ky. That's BOXED.KY.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's morning is just moving right ahead. If you're just joining us, we have Dr. Pooja. She's a consultant obstetrics and gynecology at Total Health, and she's new in the position over there, but she's not a stranger to
The island.
the island. Dr. Pooja, we're looking at menopause and the impact it has on women, especially women in the Cayman Islands.
Yes.
And we really appreciate the work that you're doing. I appreciate the work you're doing.
Thank
because
you.
Off cue, I'm learning a lot from you. And you wanted to talk about women who do not want to talk about
Menopause. Yes. So there are two reasons. One is they think, like I said, it's just a general routine part of aging where, you're just tired all the time and you forget stuff. And it's just normal to feel these things and go through these things because you're aging. And then there's the other few who'd be like, oh, if I admit that I'm going through menopause, I'm saying it out loud that I'm getting older and I don't want to do that. So that's where the problem lies. So these are the two main reasons that women would shy away from speaking about menopause. And then there's the third subset where they want to speak about it and they do see their physician. I know quite a few physicians, unfortunately, it's really sad, but I know quite a few physicians on island who will demotivate the woman and say, oh, no. You have these symptoms, don't worry, they'll go away in some time. You shouldn't be taking hormone replacement therapy. It's the devil, so you shouldn't do it. And then the woman is left to kind of suffer and say, yeah, that's just your fate, deal with it. It's very unfortunate. There are a few practitioners, there are a few gynecologists as well. So it's not only, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's only a few general practitioners, but there are a few gynecologists as well who will not entertain a talk about these symptoms or a talk about the treatment for these symptoms. There is a real treatment for these symptoms. It's called hormone replacement therapy. Like every single medication that is available on this planet, these medications have this side effects as well. It's just that they have been overtly popularized, or so that's why hormone replacement. The side effects, yes. That's why hormone replacement therapy is in some sorts infamous, as opposed to being, like a life-changing drug. As you would call it. So say, for instance, a simple tablet of paracetamol or acetaminophen, as it is called in this part of the world, can completely wreak havoc on your liver. Ibuprofen can shut down your kidneys, but nobody talks about that because if you're in pain, you're going to take it, right?
That's right.
Same with the hormone replacement therapy. It does have its side effects, but we have to see whether there's a risk-benefit ratio for everything, not only medications, but everything in life. So if the benefits outweigh the risk, you go ahead and do it. If you think the risks outweigh the benefit, you don't do it. Then you look at alternative options. That's just how simple it is. So hormone replacement therapy, if we go to talk about it, is the treatment for menopause. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It doesn't mean every single woman needs hormone replacement therapy. It's a very few catchment of women who would actually need this kind of therapy. So our job as medical professionals is to identify these subset of women and treat them. And at the same time, there would be women who would come in thinking, oh, doc, my friend is taking hormone replacement because she has these symptoms. I don't have too much of it, but her skin is glowing and her hair looks fantastic. She's losing weight as well. Can you put me on it? So we have to kind of explain to them that this is not how it works. And there are very few indications for which it is approved to use. The other good effects come from using it.
Okay. And I would say over the years, I've heard about, hormone replacement treatment. Do not take it if you have breast cancer in your family.
Right.
And that's something I've always thought about.
Yeah. So when hormone replacement therapy was actually rolled out, probably say 50, 60 years ago, there was a big study that came out. It was called the Women's Health Initiative Trial, which was mainly focusing on the hormone replacement therapy and its good effects and bad effects. Now, along with the goodness that it came with, there came like a big subset of women who ended up having breast cancer and uterine cancer and something known as thromboembolism, which is production of blood clots in your system, which can kind of lead to a heart attack, a stroke, and things like that. So that's kind of stuck onto the minds of practitioners and women alike, that, oh, it causes breast cancer, I can't take it. But what we need to realize is that was 50 years ago, and we're currently, it's like a day and night difference. What medications we were giving at the doses that we were giving at that point of time would be considered horse dose at this point of time. So the doses that we're using are probably in tune of 1/20th of the original dose. We used to give estrogen as a form of a tablet, which we don't anymore. We give them as either a patch or a cream, which has again reduced the risk of side effects and stuff. We have come so far along to say that women who have thromboembolic episodes, like the blood clots, if they were to take birth control pills, it's a no-no for them. Like once you have a blood clot, you cannot take birth control pills ever. But on the other hand, when it comes to hormone replacement, which is technically similar hormones, it's the same estrogen, progesterone, the doses are different. But because we're giving it to you as a cream or a patch, and the doses are less, you can still safely take it. So that says a lot. Coming to the risk of breast cancer, yes, that risk still exists, but it has come down significantly. But having said that, we can't just be careless about it and say, and callous as well, and say, oh, it's fine, you're not at a risk or anything. With a history of breast cancer in the family, you definitely need to be screened more often than probably the next woman. But if you are someone on hormone replacement therapy, you will be screened every year with a mammogram. You should be. A mammogram and a uterine ultrasound, a vaginal ultrasound to check the lining of the uterus. These are the two most important things that you would do. If you were to come to me, and if I was someone who is giving you hormone replacement therapy, be rest assured that you will not get your next set of refills if you do not do these things that I ask of you. I'd rather that you suffer with the symptoms of menopause than you end up with something as disastrous as breast cancer. But having said that, we still do pick up women who tend to end up having breast cancer or uterine cancer with hormone replacement. But they would be very, very early, and we would catch them, treat them, and then the story ends there. So it's very important that you come in for your surveillance visits.
Dr. Pooja, we need another hour with you here in the studio. Susan, you hear that? We have to make way for the news. It's 8 o'clock. But Dr. Pooja, thank you so much for being in the studio with us this morning. Can you give us location and just some contact details for Total Health, please?
Yes. So
where we can find you.
I'm located at Total Health, which is very conveniently placed on West Bay Road in Grand Pavilion. And we're open between 8 to 8. I'm there between 8 and 5 every day, and on Saturdays as well. So you can come see me there. The number to call on is super simple, 333-2222.
333-2222. And you have appointments. Can you take walk-ins? Or?
We do take walk-ins, but I would always appreciate an appointment.
Dr. Pooja, anything you'd like to leave with our listeners this morning?
So the only thing I would like to say is, us as women need to take charge of our health and realize what we're going through is probably not normal. Even if you think that there is some sense in what I have spoken today, just come in. Maybe you don't need anything. Maybe you just need reassurance to say, oh, don't worry. That's absolutely nothing that you need to worry about. But you need to take care a little bit of yourself rather than focusing only on the people around you.
I feel safe just listening to you even. Dr. Pooja, thank you so much. Dr. Pooja, consultant obstetrics and gynecology at Total Health. Make a way for the news, weather report, traffic, and we'll be back with a second segment of the Buzz this morning.
Thank you, Anita. And Studio Time by Foster's is a minute after 8.
Give the gift on everyone's Christmas list, the Foster's card.
I mean, who doesn't love free groceries, right?
With the Foster's card, you can shop at any Foster's supermarket or Priced Right location without having to worry about carrying cash or paying bank fees. Plus, you can easily reload your Foster's card at the register for quick, hassle-free checkouts every time you shop. Pick up your Foster's cards in-store or order online at fosters.ky and give the gift of free groceries this Christmas.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrack and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the. the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller.
Juliana Yvonne O'Connor Connolly.
Premier the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly is one of the top 25 women recognized by the Global Listening Center, a nonprofit focused on the power of effective listening and what it can make in the aspects of everyone's lives.
I was pleasantly surprised that I was one of the recipients for the Outstanding Women in the World for Politics. Politics, as in all disciplines, the art of listening is a necessity, and it has proved very, very important for me over almost 28 years of being in public life here in the Cayman Islands.
The center recognized and honored 25 women from around the world who have used the power of listening for the, quote, betterment of humankind. Recipients were announced Saturday night at the Ritz. 29514. You can find out more about the work of the Global Listening Center at globallisteningcenter.org. It's another good rating for John Gray High School after a recent visit by school inspectors. The Office of Education Standards report shows that progress at the Georgetown Public Secondary School was judged as good in all core subjects and in many other subjects, such as the performing arts and ICT. The curriculum was broad and coherent and provided many personalized routes for students to follow. Teaching and learning were judged to be good. Behavior was good as well. However, there were a small number of students who could, quote, be disruptive, but students reported that this was managed by leaders at the school. Leadership was judged as excellent. Self-evaluation was good, and leaders clearly knew the school's strengths and areas for development. The report says there was a culture of continuous improvement and strategic plans that had the appropriate priorities in place to help the school progress further in the quest for excellence. You can find the full report at oes.gov.ky. And the National Drug Council, with the support of Her Excellency the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, and the Minister for Health and Wellness, the Honorable Sabrina Turner, have launched the annual Arrive Alive campaign.
It's a threefold campaign. It consists of a designated driver program, a Take the Pledge program, and the Purple Ribbon Bus, which happens on New Year's Eve.
That's Simon Miller from the National Drug Council. He says people take the pledge not to drink and drive, either plan a designated driver or hop onto the Purple Ribbon Bus on New Year's Eve.
We'll have 18 buses running strategic routes across the Cayman Islands. You can get anywhere from north side all the way to the tip of West Bay. It's free of charge.
Mr. Miller says more than 100 bars and restaurants have agreed to provide free non-alcoholic drinks to designated drivers. Find out more at ndc.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. 41 construction workers trapped for 17 days inside a collapsed road tunnel in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand are now just hours away from being rescued. An evacuation pipe has been pushed in after specialist miners working by hand finally broke through the piles of debris blocking the Silkyara tunnel. The trapped men will be taken out on wheeled stretchers. As the ceasefire continues for a fifth day in Gaza, aid organisations say more humanitarian assistance is needed. The World Health Organization has warned that many more people could die in Gaza from disease if the health system is not put back on its feet quickly. The wife of the head of Ukrainian military intelligence is in hospital after suffering from the effects of poisoning by heavy metals. Unnamed officials suspect it was an attempt to assassinate Mariana Bogdanova. Ms. Bogdanova's husband, Kirilo Bogdanov, is reported to be unaffected. Ukraine's military says its forces continue to repel Russian attacks on various fronts near the embattled eastern town of Avdiivka. Russian troops have been trying to encircle the town close to Donetsk city. President Xi Jinping has called for greater legal protection for foreign companies that invest in China as he seeks to lure back overseas investors. He said it was vital to safeguard the intellectual property rights of foreign companies. The army in Burkina Faso says one of its detachments in the north of the country has come under attack from jihadists. Security officials told the French news agency that several hundred armed men tried to penetrate a military base in the town of Jibo on Sunday. Japan has begun trial sales of morning-after pills without a prescription. Depending on the outcome, its health ministry may approve a full-scale rollout to make it available over the counter. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
You don't sound too good there, Bobo.
Yeah, you know how it is. If the kids back in school, every other week they coming out with something
and then I catch it.
Sound like it gets you, but for real, brother, flu season is here and COVID is still around. You gotta stock up on things like medicine, vitamins, and minerals for you and the kids. You know what they say, prevention is better than cure.
At ValueMed, our pharmacists can help manage flu symptoms and provide guidance on vitamins and minerals to best support you and your family's overall health. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Town, or WhatsApp your questions and prescription refills to ValueMed on Walkers Road at 926-1662 or WhatsApp ValueMed in Town at 916-5511. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Miller's Plumbing has announced a closing down sale on all plumbing material and accessories. 30% off on all items through December 2023. Miller's Plumbing, located at 194 Dorsey Drive, or call 949-4709 or 916-0751. 30% off on all items at Miller's Plumbing through December. Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
Are you a Caymanian interested in a career in the TVET sector? The Ministry of Education is now offering grants to fund short-term TVET courses at registered local institutions. Whether you're looking to upskill, transition to a new career, or find employment, this grant is for you. To learn more and apply, visit www.moescholarship.gov.ky. Invest in your future with a local TVET grant today. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 75%. The barometric pressure is 30.00 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 9 knots. Overnight low temperature was 80 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate to fresh northeasterly winds and moderate seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next couple of days as a high-pressure system builds over the southeast United States. Satellite images show a few low-level clouds spreading across the Cayman area. The forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight is calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s today and will fall to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 10:41, low tide this afternoon at 4:51, and a high tide again tonight at 9:47. The sun will set this evening at 5:44 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:42. And the outlook is calling for continued moderate to fresh northeasterly winds with moderate to rough seas from Wednesday morning, especially along the north and east coast. Small craft should exercise caution over open seas. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. Don't lie on your resume. Because if you say you've got trapeze experience, someone might shoot you out of a cannon and expect you to do a gymnast routine while flying through the air at 82 miles an hour. And just because you want to land on your feet doesn't mean you will. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance, so you get the best coverage for the price.
Get the best coverage for the price. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit-K, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking. Change your life. Developing the giver's mindset can bolster any relationship.
As motivational speaker Tony Robbins said, some of the biggest challenges in relationships come from the fact that most people enter a relationship in order to get something. They're trying to find someone who's going to make them feel good. In reality, the only way a relationship will last is if you see a relationship as a place that you go to give and not only a place that you go to take.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Coming from the east, expect some delays as you head on down to Georgetown, especially further down on Shamrock Road. And on the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is heavy traffic, as well as on Crew Road heading to Georgetown, and steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, as well as Agnes Way. As we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, flowing moderately, and steady bit flowing traffic on the West Bay Road and from the Ritz in both directions. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, as well as continuing on to Huldah Avenue, traffic is steady. And that's the very latest on your traffic. If you see any accidents or incidents, please give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. Have a good morning and drive safe.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. If you're just joining us for the first time this morning, well, welcome. This is Radio Cayman. I'm your host, Anita Khan. And in the studio, this is our second segment. And in the studio, we have joining us from Youth
Services Unit.
Youth Services Unit. The Youth Services Coordinator, Mr. James Miles, and we all know him as Jamo. And we have one of the part of them honorees in the studio right now. We're waiting for a few more to come in. Manina Thompson. Manina is the honoree for community service. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, you know.
Yeah. Jam, you all right?
Yeah.
Long time no see, man.
Yeah, traffic never killed me, so here.
Well, I'm glad you made it in. Well, you're always early, Jamo.
Yeah. I try to be at least.
Trying to be early. So, Jamo, this is always a proud time for you and the team. Proud of them.
Yes.
And the proud of them honorees. This is a lot of work.
Yeah, but if you like what you do,
I know you was going to say that.
Work.
You never work a day in your life,
that's
right?
Right. I mean, I think the hardest part is getting them there. And
so how did this come about, Jamo? When did it start?
Well, it started with a conversation in 2011 when the narrative on young people was very terrible. Every newspaper,
2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
When came on 27 around, there was always some news flash that young people is fighting here, there, or doing something negative. And we say, you know what? We got far too many young people doing great things, for all they hear about our youth is this. So we wanted to change the narrative on our young people. And I say, no. We need to make it bold. We need to make it clear that we have excellent young people doing excellent things, reaching for the stars, reaching higher. And this is one great way that we got to promote it. And I really want to pause to thank Joel Francis, because without his push at the ministry level, we wouldn't have gotten the billboards, because we can't took him over from census, but don't let him know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just our secret that the world watching. But yeah, census had them up. So I said, well, if they can put up billboards, we just got to keep them. They put some up there 10 years, we can put them up all in between. And if they need to borrow them for the census, we can let them back. Right? And Joel really pushed for it. And I said, well, let's get going. And we started by honoring 12 young people every 6 months. And Joel was saying, boy, at this pace we might run out. I said, nah. We got so much young people doing such great things, we're not going to run out. We could do this every month if we want. We have so much young people doing such good stuff. And it's proven that every time that there's a nomination period, there's over 100 nominations.
So this is twice per year?
No, just once a year now.
Okay.
We only do it once a year now, and we're now honoring 15 young people each time. And because this year was our 10th year, the ministry added in 2 Rising Star Awards. So we're honoring 17 young people this year.
Nice.
And hope going forward, we just put up more billboards and put up more pretty young people who are doing some great things.
And you'll move from billboard to those digital ones.
Eventually, when I get a good sponsor. So all of the sponsors out there, right? Just letting you all know, if we don't get up lighting to light up the boards, we're going to want to go the digital route that is solar panel fed.
That's right.
Everything could be off the grid. So just letting you know, I could be looking for, I could be examining how much it costs, and then I could be putting it out to private sector to help government highlight our young people, because that could cost quite a bit.
Yeah. So you have 17 honorees this year.
We have 15 honorees and 2
Rising Stars. Right, 2 Rising Stars. Right. Now, this morning we have Manina.
Yes, ma'am.
Manina Thompson. Hello, Manina. Manina is also a Miss Teen. You were a Miss Teen contestant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Back in when? Refresh my memory.
I was going to ask you to help me refresh mine. Back in the day.
Back in the day. It was before COVID-19.
A couple years ago. So
might have been 2018.
2019.
2020. Yeah.
Something like that.
But Manina. So Manina, you're a proud of them honoree. How do you feel?
I feel excited now. When I first got it, or when I first heard about it, it was a bit intimidating at first because I was like, oh my goodness, I am very much behind the scenes person. And I've seen the billboards and they look amazing. But to think when it's you now, your face is going to be on the billboard. I was like, driving through traffic.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I love to look at those, the honorees. I just love them.
I love to see it.
Huh? I just so Manina, you were nominated for community service.
Yes.
Okay. What sort of? Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, rather than me going and look at your bio? Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to this point.
Yeah, I think growing up, I always wanted to just be involved in anything and everything, whether it be like sports. So I was very active in that. I've done swimming, basketball, football, volleyball, boxing, like track and field. And I've always like loved doing anything that helped giving back or just seeing like the reaction of people when you just take like 5 minutes out of your day to see what you can do to help someone else. And I've always been passionate about the environment, you know, cleaning up, beach cleanups, like even like initiating that on my own or dragging my family out early in the morning, like, come on, we got to do this. And then there started being organizations that I noticed that has the same values that I do. So I've joined Key Club, I joined Junior Achievement, I've joined the Alex Panda Foundation Youth Ambassadors Program. And it's so through going through those clubs that helped me harness like my passions about like the environment and helping others and community service and like the Rotaract Club and Leo's Club. And yeah, one thing led to another, and that's how I actively like became more and more involved in the community and kind of pushed forward to like the public eye.
Nice. And here you are. So someone nominated you, of course.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Do you know?
So I think that's the most rewarding aspect of this is like anyone from the community could nominate you, and it could be more than one person. And I think when I realized that, that's what really like really warmed my heart, because you never know who's looking. And you know, when you're like, at least I can speak for myself, when you're doing community service, you're not looking around to see, ooh, who's watching me, who's taking pictures. And so I think it's amazing that out of anybody and everyone they could have thought of, they took the time and say, you know what, I would love to, you know, recognize this person. And that made me like very humbled and grateful for that.
Well, I want to say congratulations, Manina.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome. All those things you do, Key Club, Junior Achievement, Alex Panton Foundation. When do you get time for school and work? Because you work as well, right?
Yes, full time.
and oh my gosh. Jamo?
Yeah, I can relate
to
that.
Busy?
Yeah. No, most normal, no, yeah. Anybody that care, that's what they do. And this is why I really love, especially those who are recognized for community service, because it goes way beyond. It is an additional to what you do for yourself. It's an additional to what you do for your family. You're doing this for your community and for people that you don't want anything back from. And why she don't notice herself is because she's looking for the impact on the lives that she's touching. And it is great to be recognized. And I got mine yesterday, so I don't need it again today. Someone called in and talked today and gave me all the flowers that I need. And I don't need any more today, but I'm here to
flowers are good,
I'm here to put flowers on the young people who is following in those same footsteps and those models of caring for the community. And you can see it in all that they do. And it is now part of their core being. And I think that is the reward that we get in promoting the positive contributions young people make, is that we can blow their horn. You know, she used to swim fast in Crifta. She didn't say that, but I know. You understand?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you knew that.
Listen, man.
Oh my goodness. Jamo doesn't miss anything, you know. He doesn't miss anything.
And we got another Crifta athlete coming in. Which is? This is Diana. She didn't go Crifta, but she's brilliant.
Very.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice
but
to meet you.
Good morning.
These things that make our country proud, that helps to promote and put Cayman on the map in a positive light. It is fitting for us to put these young people on billboards and to show that they're inspiration in action not just a bag of milk.
That's right. Jamo, do you have a list with you of all the honorees
this year? No, but I can remember.
Okay, well, let's have them.
All right. We start with Ariana McCoy. She's in school in England, by the way. She probably listening, but be late in the night.
Okay.
No, she at class. She in class now.
Okay.
Let me name the ones that are away first.
Okay.
Manu Prabhahar. She was nominated and selected and being honored for business, which means when she back, I'll bring her on the business buzz.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
Because she has something called edible cutlery, and you know Christmas is the eating time, right? And plenty of times people eat so much food that they won't eat the plate and the fork. She got plate and fork.
I think we've had her on the bus
and
before.
it's good. I've had it.
We had her on the bus before with her mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
but
had
she
ice
have
cream.
plates
They
and
brought
forks
ice
and
cream.
cups that you can eat.
That's right.
So you can eat it, and then you don't have to put nothing on the garbage on the dump.
Right.
So just put less in the plate because you can end up eating the plate. But we'll have her on if when she come back, because when she comes on this time, she comes on as a proud honoree, honored for the business that she's created.
Okay, entrepreneur.
Yeah, and it's something to motivate other young people to be a part of. Another honoree that's in the UK is Ashley Gooden.
Ashley, yay!
Yes, she's been recognized for her academics. Ariana McCoy is being recognized for sports.
That's right.
Manu is being recognized for business. Carrie McCoy is being recognized for community service. So she's huge in girl guiding. She is actually receiving the highest honor in girl guiding on planet. Is from the king. Yeah, so it would have been from the queen, but then now.
Well, we have a king. Okay.
Yeah, we have a king now, so it's from the king. The other person that is in the UK is Kiana Kelly. And she was in Miss Teen as well.
That's
but she's been recognized for academics. The other person that overseas could be calling us a little later on WhatsApp. His name is Devontae Howell. He is a rising sports star. His goal is to break Usain Bolt's record, and I'm pretty sure he can do it because he got the drive and he have the mindset for it. He'll be giving us a shout a little later on. In the studio with us is Munina and Diana.
Just joined by Diana
Who should also be joining us would be Rachel Pascal, who is being honored for sports. She, as our curved athlete, she medaled here at home in 2019 in javelin, and she's still doing a great job for us in sports. Her terrific career is over now, so she got to take on the big people. So I think she's ready for it.
I'm sure she's ready for that.
Yep.
And anybody else? You missed anybody?
Matthew Borden. He's been recognized for community service. Who else am I missing?
All right, we're going to take a break, hold the thought, and
I
think
can
about
make
it.
a list.
Make a list, Jamo. We're going to take a quick break. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years of service to Cayman. And Box Cayman, box from our kitchen to yours.
Life can get hectic, but dinner doesn't have to be a hassle. Made with love, Box frozen meals are preservative-free and packed with nutrition. From jerk chicken pasta to Caribbean spice pulled pork, we've got your taste buds covered. Box cares about your family and the environment. Our trays and sleeves are compostable and recyclable. With Boxed, dinner is ready in a flash. Just heat from frozen in the oven or microwave for a delicious home-cooked meal. Find our meals and desserts at your local supermarket or order through the Bento app for convenient delivery. Boxed. From our kitchen to yours.
November is Diabetes Awareness Month. If you are diabetic, taking charge of your health can help prevent other health problems. Speak to your doctor about your A1C levels and check regularly. Take care of your mental health. Eat healthier, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. Take your medications on time, even if you feel healthy. Take charge of tomorrow by taking steps today. This message brought to you by the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the community for over 5 decades.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. a new rule was placed on fishing for grouper that says no one can fish for Nassau grouper anywhere in Cayman from December 1st to April 30th while they're spawning. There is also no fishing allowed at all for any kinds of fish in the spawning zones and no scuba diving there either. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad had taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. Proud of them. The Proud of Them program we're looking at this morning. Proud of Them honorees. Earlier this year, they were looking for nominations, and Ashley and who was in the studio? Ashley and Angel were in the studio, I think.
Ashley and
anyway, I can't remember who was it.
Arnold.
Sorry?
Is it Arnold? Arnold Berry?
Arnold, right.
Yeah.
Arnold and Ashley. Good. That's right. And they were talking about, nomination process and all of that. And here we are with the honorees this morning. Proud of them, honorees. You'll soon see those faces spread across.
They're already up.
They're already up?
Yeah, man.
Oh, when was that?
Overnight like Santa Claus.
Jamo. Jamo.
No, they were up from yesterday.
Oh,
I think the last set was at the National Archives, which was put up around midday yesterday.
Okay.
Really? And in the Brack? I don't think there's any up
No, not yet.
Not yet.
They on the ship though.
So you hear the only male in the room, Mr. James Miles, Jamo, we call him. Jamo is the Youth Services Coordinator, and sitting right next to me, she just joined us in the studio, is Miss Diana DeMarcado.
Thank you.
And Diana is, and she's recipient of the for academics.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Academics. Wow. So, Monina Community Service, you're academics. Diana, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from the Brack. I moved here in 2015.
The Bracker like Susan.
Yes,
All
yes, I'm a
right.
Bracker. I'm a proud Bracker.
Yes.
So I moved here when I was 15 by myself. I have all my family in the Brack, so there's not much here. And I came over here because I needed to go further my education. So I finished my CXCs pretty early on. I got like 11 passes when I was in about year 10 or so. And year 11, and I moved over here to go to UCCI, the traditional route kind of thing,
That's right.
get my start going, So after I finished that, I got my degree in business admin, my associate's degree. I had this period when I was 17, like, oh my God, I don't know what I want to do, because I've always been very artistic. I love to sing, I love to draw, but it just wasn't something that I wanted to pursue as a career. So I just knocked on doors and I was like, I need a job, and my very first job that I got when I was down here was at the Legislative Assembly, funnily enough. And it was simple stuff,
Good start.
Yeah. I'm really grateful to all of them for giving me that opportunity, because it was that time in my life where politics, law, that whole arena really struck my interest. And I worked there for about a year or so, just on and off during school, administrative stuff. But it taught me a lot. It made me realize, I like advocacy. I want to do something that can be easily turned around into something impactful. So whether it's private or public sector, whatever area I qualify in, I just want to be able to turn that around, And I was like, okay, we need more Brackers. We need more lawyers anyways, So, so yeah, exactly. And I took pride in that from the very beginning. So I made it my mission. I'm like, all right, we're going to go to law school. At that time, I had not much desire to go to the UK, to be honest. This move from the Brack was a lot for me on its own because I was alone. My mom did join me, but it wasn't, it was different. It's different. Growing up in the Brack is a very different experience. So moved here. I went to law school here for 3 years, and I actually was valedictorian in 2022.
Congrats.
Thank you. Along with another classmate, but that was a very, very big achievement for me because, I watched the trends over the years at Truman Bodden. I watched the people that come in, the people that go out. And, I just thought to myself, we need more Caymanians that take that spot every single year. And I just felt so passionate about that from the time, and I had a rough experience because I started during COVID. So I was like, oh my God, this can't get any worse, really and truly, because these concepts and this material is so rough to learn. And imagine having to teach yourself at some points, right? So I was like, no, I can't give up. You know, I want to make my Brackers proud. I want to be a big-time lawyer. I want to do this, you know, and I did it. Mm-hmm. And then I went on to the professional practice course, which is like the bar qualifying exam for the Cayman Islands. And I also placed top of my class once more, along with a few other students. So I had a very talented cohort. All of us were extremely intelligent. And then I started my articles as of recently, so I'm on the path to qualifying as an attorney within the next 12 months.
Awesome.
So, thank
Yay.
you. Thank you. So go Brackers. Yes.
Go Brackers. All right. So we are proud of them.
Thank you.
We are proud of you all.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just very important that, you know, people in the sister islands realize that, you know, you're from a small place. We're all from a small place, but even smaller. But don't let that curtail the size of your wings, you know. That was very important for me because even in my nomination video and my application, I talk about, you know, my values and my family values. And it had a lot to do with the way I came out, to be honest, because I grew up, you know, with my grandparents, you know, a traditional fishing family home, you know. Papa go out to fish, go to the sea and get fish and sell fish. Yeah, it was a good life, you know. Yeah. And so grateful for him and all the lessons that he taught me, and it really pushed me because that generation, you know, never had the opportunities we did. And I just wanted to do something with myself more than the average, if that makes sense, you know, and give back to my community because one day it's one of my dreams to open up a legal aid clinic in the Brac.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's one of my dreams to help those
Manina works with Nelson, right?
So.
Yes,
oh, you're doing nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, let's start the conversation right there, Jamo. All right?
No, but I got a national call for Diana.
Yes?
You got a national call for me?
National call. Let's hear it.
Madam Speaker.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Why do you think that? Why does everybody say that?
No, because you're fair.
Oh,
you're knowledgeable of the law. You advocate for the just causes in life.
Thank you. That's actually the first time I've heard that. And it was a thought of mine, but I don't know. We'll see where life takes me.
And you're already, your first job was at LA?
Yes, it was.
Again, LA. So, there you go.
It was, yes.
Wow. Jamo, you spot on with this. I'm scared of you, man.
I'm kidding. He's putting thoughts together in his head.
No, you can do all other stuff in your part time.
Yeah.
In your spare time. The stuff in the Brac.
And listen, the pay is good. Okay. The pay is very well. No,
but the role is very important.
And that too. We're very proud of you and everybody else, all the other honorees.
Yeah, you want to hear them now?
Did you miss? Okay.
No, I got them all 15
okay.
now.
All right, let's hear.
Yeah. Ashley Gooden, academics. Ariana Grant, sports and academics. Ariana McCoy, sports. Carrie McCoy, community service. Devontae Howell, academics and sports. Chloe McClernand, academics. Diana Demacardo, who's here with us, academics. Kiana Kelly, academics. Monina Thompson, community service. Manushree Prabhahar, business. Matthew Bodden, community service. Jasani Burke, academics. Misha Thompson, community service. Peyton Morrison, culture. And Rachel Pascal, sports.
So how do you remember, you have just the names on this list, Jamo. How do you remember
what they're honored for?
Yeah.
I know them.
He's very involved in the process.
I'm just sitting here thinking, how do you remember all that? Who's got what?
Yeah, I mean, most of these have excellent grades. They could all get for academics. Yeah. Almost all of them.
And I like how you put Madam Speaker next to Diana's name.
Yes. Manifesting.
He is really manifesting something right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it too.
No, it is important that we prepare young people for present and future roles.
Yes, I agree.
And
absolutely.
Diana don't know that she's preparing herself for that level of impact in our society, but it is a must-have for any democracy.
Well, look at it. Our premier is from Cayman Brac.
Aye.
Right?
So,
right?
Who used to be Madam Speaker too.
Yes.
That's right.
She was the first woman speaker, right?
Who's tooled up as a lawyer and a teacher and all this kind of stuff, preparing her for these roles. That whenever the country calls on you to be there, you can be there. And we're doing the same thing with these young people. We're pouring into them as much as we can, and they are proving that they're not keeping it to themselves. They're making the impact wherever they are, and they're willing to share.
That's right.
Willing to give back. See, she want ready to do something in the Brock. Tell you.
I'm so proud of you guys. I'm just sitting there thinking, this is awesome. This
But
is,
doing it as
you know.
modern speaker is very
Oh my
impactful.
gosh, he won't let us go. He won't let us go.
I'm telling you. Because the speaker role doesn't have an open engagement in the community as yet. Never did. The last person to engage community as a speaker was Maybrick Colonel from the Brock.
Okay.
He did something in Cayman Brack that a lot of people don't know, but he started the movement of youth movement in Cayman Brack, where the churches opened up their doors for young people. So they had an alternative to the bars because that was all they had. So, God rest his soul, Maybrick Colonel opened that door as
That door's still
Speaker
open.
of the House.
Trust me.
And it is needed up to this day. And for the most part, the community in Cayman Brack has picked up on youth development. There's the key clubs, there's Leo's, there's Junior Achievement, there's the cadets.
I was heavily involved in that in school as well.
Same.
Right.
Yeah.
But before all of that, there was just the churches.
Yep.
And it started with the speaker.
Okay. So you're celebrating 10 years. This is your 10th anniversary this year, Jamal.
Yes.
Proud of
We
them.
started putting up, the first billboards went up in 2013. But we were talking about it for quite some time before we got it going.
So I got a question for you, though. Okay, Diana is from Cayman Rock, right?
Yes.
Yes, I
and
am.
you have a poster up here in Grand Cayman.
No, in Cayman Rock.
It's
It's
in
not up
Cayman
yet.
And, it's Nebraska.
It's on the ship and on the barge, sorry. I'm not going to control all the weather, but you know. It's on reach.
Well, you'll have to put two up for her. One in Cayman Brack and one in Grand Cayman. It's just fair.
Well, what we can do is put a digital one on that board for you. So
You can do that too.
Every time. The digital stuff come in, I think I get it costed.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd
But
be awesome.
plywood size TVs is hard to come by. But you just put the TV up on the plywood that's already there. And then we can actually have a rolling video that all 15 can be on every post.
Yeah.
So you're not going to worry about where you post it. You post it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You just
Do you
the
rotate
time.
them? Do you rotate them during
No,
the
man,
year?
that costs too much money.
Oh, my goodness. No, I just pull them up and have people help you, you know.
Oh, and then damage them? No, I leave that to the sign people.
Oh,
They-
okay.
See, when Vision Marketing put them up, they put them up gracefully. I even got some pictures of them putting them up.
Wow.
Let me tell you, man. They're beautiful.
They're
Go take a
beautiful.
look.
They are so
Go
pretty.
take
Yeah,
a look.
on
And
that
I know
note,
what up damage.
we're going to take a break, Jamo. Cayman Insurance Center and Box Cayman are proud sponsors of the Business Buzz. Don't forget, Cayman Insurance Center is located in Cayman Business Park, units 1A through 14. And Box Cayman. Prep less, party more with Box Cayman.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Cayman Islands, clear your calendars because something extraordinary is coming your way. Ignite the Fire, hosted by Christ for All Nations, is roaring into the Lions Center from November 29th to December 3rd. Join us for an epic worship and gospel event, a monumental move of God that will transform lives and reveal destinies. Don't miss this 5-night, once-in-a-generation experience. Be a part of history in the making. Ignite the Fire, Cayman. Mark your date, November 29th to December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. nightly, and get ready for an unforgettable spiritual journey that will set your heart ablaze. Cayman and you will never be the same again.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by Cayman Medical Center, Cayman's most awarded private medical clinic, located in the heart of Georgetown. Visit their website at medical.ky or call 623-1000.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's a full house this morning, and we're just having fun. Here's hoping that you can join the fun. This is the final segment of the Business Buzz, our last few minutes on the buzz. And just joining us in the studio is Matthew Button. And Matthew is a Proud of Them honorees. He was nominated for community service, and he's here in the studio. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning.
And you're at Kim International School. You're no stranger to the Business Buzz. You're a regular almost. Well, congratulations on being
Thank
one
you.
of the Proud of Them honorees, Matthew, for community service. How are you feeling?
I think I feel proud to know that I have the responsibility to continue to impact youth on the island.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was nice to know that there's recognition, but participating in community service, you don't always seek public recognition. But to know that the government and by extension the community is watching, it encourages myself and other youth to continue our efforts in the community.
Okay, and so is Manina. Manina is also an honoree for community service.
Mhm. Yeah, I can definitely relate to what he's saying. He hit the nail on the head with that one.
Wow. Okay, I'm in the presence of greatness, Jamal.
Yeah, I do it every day. This is why I start pointing them in the right direction. You got to point arrows and shoot them off.
I knew you were going to say that, I knew you were going to say that. No, how does it feel to be, okay, I know you're proud to be honored, but to be nationally recognized, how does it feel, Manina? Let me start with you.
Like I said at first, intimidating. But then once it settles in, it kind of lets you reflect back on what you've done, because sometimes you're just so busy in the motion, you're just going to the next thing that you don't slow down and appreciate how far you've come. And so I think that's something really special, and I think I'm still trying to grasp my mind around, that there was over 100+ nominations and they narrow it down to 15, and to be selected like that, it also is quite a personal achievement for my family. I know that's something that my mom really wanted for me before I wanted it. She would always annoy me, and I'm like, Mom, please, I don't want to be up there. I'm like, why would I be up there? And so kind of her dream became mine. And so it's really something special to me that
I know Shelby definitely would have been proud of you, Manina.
Thank you.
Definitely. Matthew, anything you want to add to that for your community service?
Yeah, I think it's similar to what I said before.
Mhm.
So yeah, being put in the position to be able to inspire other youth in the community is special.
How about you, Madam Speaker?
Get used to it.
Practicing.
Well, in terms of how I feel, same thing as him. I'm extremely proud and elated to be here, even today, speaking about all of this, because for me, I was just going for myself, and same thing you said. I was like, I don't know, I want to be up there. I don't want all of that, those people looking at me, all of that every day, going through traffic, people seeing me. But honestly, it is really an honor. And, it's important that we put our young Caymanian people on a footing so that they can push themselves further, because a lack of recognition also does, decrease your feeling of, no one is seeing me doing this, you know what I mean? So it goes hand in hand. So it's really important that we continue to encourage our young people, and I'm really thankful that out of 100 nominees, I was chosen. Up to now, I can't believe it, but thank you.
I'll pinch you. Well, you know what? Your poster will be up in Kimmerbra.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Jamal, we won't be able to wave at her as we drive past.
Sure.
So you know.
You can do it when you come visit the Brack with us when we go talk to the school.
That's an idea. But yeah. So what do you have planned for the future, Dinah? What's in the future for you?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm currently undertaking my articles of clerkship at a firm here named Harney's. I just started in September, so I'm about 4 months in, so I got about a year left. But after that, honestly, the world is my oyster. I don't really have a specific route that I want to take after I become an attorney. I just want to make it known that whatever I do once I get called to the bar is going to impact my fellow Caymanians, especially my Brack people, because I just want to take it to another level, honestly. Politics used to be one of my dreams. I don't want to put it out there on national radio, but, I just feel like law is such a, how can I put this? it's a very diverse thing to study because you don't have to say, oh, I want to go be an attorney or I want to go do politics. You can do anything with that degree. But I know that degree is going to get me really far, and I just want to use it for a positive thing to give back to Cayman Brac specifically.
Well, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Reach for the stars.
Thank
Manina,
you.
what's in the future for you? What plans you have?
I think similar to Diana, like it's quite intimidating for someone to be like, oh, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Because, I wouldn't have seen myself here 5 years ago. I think a lot of opportunities present themselves in a very interesting way, but something I am quite passionate about is Cayman's youth. I'm on the National Youth Commission. I'm also a youth ambassador leader, like with mental health with the Alex Pandon Foundation. And I really want to open up my own facility for mental health that houses short-term patients as well with long-term patients of all ages, and something affordable and hopefully something free to the people who need financial aid, where it's round-the-clock care and for whatever they need, without giving too many details for her.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, well, congratulations. I might as well put it out there, right? And whenever you're ready, you come right back to the Buzz and we'll put it out there for you. Right, Susan?
Thank you.
That's right. That's how we start.
I'll keep that in mind.
All the best.
No,
Now,
no,
Matthew.
It poses for a good project for Proud of Them.
That's right.
There's now over 153 young people that's been highlighted in this program.
Wow. Okay, Matthew.
Yeah.
How about you? You're still in school. You're at Cayman International School.
Yeah.
So what's in the future?
Yeah, so I'm finishing up my last year, and I've always had like a passion for being a part of something that matters and being involved in my community. So next year I'm attending a university in the U.S. to study criminal justice and pursue a career in law enforcement.
Wow.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Next commissioner, move over, Mr. Walton.
At least he knows where to intern, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And now he has a Caymanian at the helm.
That's right.
Who can take another Caymanian and mentor them into where they ought to be. This life is simple, you know?
Yep.
All you have to do is prepare those that's coming behind you to replace you, because we're here temporarily.
So let me ask you, Jamal, how did you become involved with the youth?
I don't know. I think it was a bug that was planted in me from very early, because even when I was just out of PV football, I turned around and coached a PV team.
PV?
PV. That's
okay.
That's what we call it in primary school.
Yeah. How old were you then? About 7?
11.
11. Oh, 11.
Just as I went into high school, I went back and coached the PV team from Johnny Gumba. As soon as I finished volleyball and basketball at the national team level, I went back and coached PV basketball with Colin Anglin and Redford, Ebanks and all them. They're now coaching basketball.
Coach Colin was my coach for basketball.
So I say this: it is simple. People poured into me, I pour into others, and if they keep doing it.
Well, we're proud of you too, Jamal.
Thank you.
Right.
You need a
my
billboard
will be up.
We'll have one for you right by Hurley's.
Intergenerational hub.
Yeah, that's right.
You need the next one.
No, what you have made every one of you, some important strides in your awarding category, community service and academics. Just for you here in the room. What pressing youth concerns do you believe can be addressed by other young people who, such as yourself, want to make that key contribution to the community?
Oh,
Manina's
man.
ready.
Yes, I have a whole list for this, but I will start with my top 3, which is mental health, the environment, and I think everyone can relate to this, especially is making Cayman for Caymanians and having students have something to come back to. So many of us go away to university, we work hard, we get the degree, we come back, there's no jobs for us, and we want to build a home for our family. There's no land for us, and if there is land, it's hard to get financing for that. Yeah, and so that's something that I'm very passionate about.
So am I.
Yes.
That was also my list.
Well,
you took it out of my...
Madam Speaker, take it.
Yes. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No,
sorry.
no, please. This is, bounce off of me.
That's
this
right.
is something that we're all passionate about, and that's why I brought it up, because it is very much a pressing matter. And what the youth can do is stand up, rise up. You have your voices. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're still in school, like if you're passionate about it, you know, being out there in the community and being consistent gains traction.
Yes.
And we get so discouraged at the first no. At the first, you know, I've gone to caucus and I've told them this is what we need to do for our country. You know, that wasn't necessarily followed, but that hasn't stopped me, you know, voicing my opinions and speaking for those who don't have a platform yet. And I want to pave the way for the youth to do that. So just find what you're passionate about. Could be anything. It could be something that no one's done before, and stick with that, and people will see your vision and support you along the way.
Another parliamentarian for you, Jamal? For that.
Yes.
For that. Matthew, how about you?
So yeah, I think she covered a lot of things, but specifically with community service, I would just say like getting involved helps everyone, other youth that get involved, people, it aids for social development, stuff like that. So helping other people, getting involved, making new friends, I think everyone getting involved kind of solves that problem.
Okay. Now, Ms. Diana?
Okay. Everything Monina said, I was prepared to say, so I completely agree with you on everything. But one specific thing that really touched for me was it's very easy for Caymanians to get discouraged given what is happening around us, right?
Yes.
Especially at our age. And it's funny enough because I always say to these people, I'm 24 years old. I'm on an excellent path to make a lot of money. And every day I'm scared for my future. Shivering for my future, even with a decent salary and a decent family supporting me. You know, I have all of the tools, I have all of the support, and I still feel scared to death. So I think that's an important thing to share, that, you know, we need to encourage young people that no matter what is happening around us, please do not curtail your wings, because you will never know the impact until it is done years later, especially seeing that we are sitting here right now and we are being recognized. I would have never thought that 5 years ago that I would be sitting here, because coming from the BRAC and not seeing a lot of BRAC recognition, and a lot of that has to do with the issues that we're addressing now. Feeling discouraged also puts the young person back from even trying in the first instance. And that's very common from the Sister Islands as well, given that it's a very different community and there's not enough of certain things. That's a whole other topic. But I think it is very important, though, that we don't let the rapid growth in different areas in Cayman make us feel like the growth is not happening with us as well. We look around and everything is just going at 10,000 miles an hour. And that can be a good thing and it can also be a bad thing. But at the same time, you know, just remember that the end is in sight and we can all do it. Do not get discouraged, because like I said, I would have never thought I'd be sitting here today. You know, I've been faced with a lot of hardship just like everyone else. And it's just important that you keep encouraged, you keep going, and you speak to the right people, you make the right connections, you go in the right circles, and that is very important as well as a young person. I've realized that over my time living over here, it's very important that you make the right connections and you raise awareness to the things that matter to you. And over time, people like Jamo, people in caucus, people in other areas of prominent society will start to see, yes, this young person has a voice, you know, so don't give up. And yeah, that's it. That's what I would say, especially coming from me. So
we've got the news coming up. Susan, can we get an extension on this segment this morning? All right, joining us by telephone, we've got Devontae Howell, honored for academics and sports. Good morning, Devontae.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Glad you can join us. No,
I'm glad that you can have me.
Devontae, you're on speaker, right? Speakerphone?
Yes,
can you come off a little bit so we can hear you? You're breaking up a bit.
Hello?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. No,
Okay.
no, Devontae, you are away at school. So you're joining
Yes,
us by
ma'am.
phone, obviously. Now, what category were you honored for?
Academics and sport.
Academic and sport. Which school are you at?
I'm at the University of Tennessee.
University of Tennessee. All right. Well, congratulations, Devontae. And
Yes,
we
ma'am.
miss you in
Thank
we miss you in the studio this morning. But how does it feel to be honored and be nationally recognized?
It feels great, you know, because you put in a lot of hard work as a student and an athlete. So you're working hard in the classroom and you're working just as hard out there on the track. So almost double the work. So to finally get some recognition and like approval and like a congratulations for what you've done so far, it's honestly amazing.
And some money came with this?
Say again?
Some money, some monetary award came with this? No?
I actually don't know.
Jabo?
Yes, each one get $1,000, but
oh,
Devontae wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay.
His parents taking care of all that for him.
Oh, Devontae.
He's focusing on
you have a financial controller that you don't know about, so good. That's good.
He had my people talk to his people.
Your lawyer spoke to their lawyer. Now, Devontae, anything yet? We're out of time. You called a bit late, but you know what? We're glad to still get you back, have you with us. Now, anything you want to leave with our listeners this morning before we let you go?
Honestly, all I could say is to keep reaching for the stars as the youth of Cayman. Like, to the youth of Cayman, I should say, to keep reaching for the stars, never give up, because that's how I got in the position I am now.
All right. And we're so proud of you, Devontae. Yes. We're proud of you, and keep going, okay? What's in the future for you?
Hopefully, I qualify for the Olympic Games, and I can also win NCAA championship here for the University of Tennessee. So that's things I have on my radar so far for this season.
Awesome.
Still
well,
pushing for the world record?
That's I have to do a bit more work for that one.
Hey, man. Start now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, Devontae, thank you so much for joining us. All right. Have a good one.
Yes,
we'll see you when you get home. Devontae Howell, honored for academics and sports. And we're out of time, smack out of time. We want to say thank you to all the honorees in the studio with me this morning. Diana Democado for academics, Monina Thompson for community service, and Matthew Button also for community service. Jamo, thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate you being here.
I want to thank some people that helped get this started, because it took 10 years.
Okay.
And that's Catherine Whitaker, Miss Jenny Manderson,
okay,
Joel Francis, and Lennon Christian. Without those 4 persons, there wouldn't be any billboards, and there wouldn't be this avenue of recognizing young people in a very public way.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks to everybody. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years of service to Cayman, and Box Cayman, Box from our kitchen to yours. Thanks to Miss Susan for producing the Business Buzz. And of course, thanks to our listeners, our viewers, and just about everybody, the general public. And we'll see you on Thursday, November 30th for another Business Buzz. God's willing. In the meantime, please stay safe and have a wonderful day. From me, your host, Anita Kant. Goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
And Boxed. Email sales@box.ky to place your holiday in a box order.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice